Hey guys, this is my speech number 3. Here's my audience. Who likes to sleep? I know I like to sleep. I'm pretty sure everyone loves to sleep. We sleep because we get tired and our bodies need to rest. It's important to let our bodies rest because it needs to restore itself and allow our brains to process all the things that we've done in that day. We take sleep for granted, and on average, you're supposed to sleep around 6 to 9 hours, and about 1/3 of Americans are getting less sleep than that, according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report. College students only usually get 6 to 6.9 hours of sleep, and that's obviously less than average, and that's because we are sleep deprived from all the overload of the activities that we do. Sleeping the recommended hours can make you feel more awake and alert, and we aim to strive to be healthy as a person, and sleeping is one of the main factors. In today's speech, I hope to inform you on what sleep is, second, explain the importance of sleep, and third, some ways you can better your sleep. We all know how to sleep, but what really is sleep? According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, sleep is defined as the natural absence of wakefulness and by the loss of consciousness of one's surrounding, considered essential to the restoration and recovery of a vital bodily and mental functions. According to the Scientific American, in the past, scientists used to believe when you're sleeping, your body and brain are inactive, but that's not the case. In a research done by University of Rochester, they did an experiment on mice, and they injected a colored dye into their brains to observe the activity when they were awake versus when they were asleep, and this research found that while the mice were sleeping, they were working as much as they were awake. Sleeping has different stages to it, and John Hobbs, a sleep expert, and neurologist Mark Wu stated, but it turns out that sleep is during a period which the brain is engaged in a number of activities necessary to life, which are closely linked to quality of life. So during this time, there are 5 different stages of sleep. The beginning 4 are non-REM, and the last is REM sleep. Stage 1 is when you're going in and out of consciousness, and now you're in light sleep. During that time, you have jerky movements that are trying to bring you back into consciousness, but you don't wake up, and also there's the falling in your sleep when you get that. After this stage, you end up in stage 2. Stage 2 is also a non-REM. This is when your heart rate starts to slow down and your body temperature starts to decrease. At this point, there's no eye movements, and your brain waves are pretty much quite slow. Stage 3 and 4 are the point where you're in your deepest sleep. This point, there's no eye movement and your body is not moving. Also, your hormones are released for growth and appetite control. In stage 5, according to Dr. Nathaniel Kettleman and his assistant, Dr. Osersky, during a time in our sleep, we have rapid eye movements, which is also known as REM, and suggests the association of these eye movements are with dreaming, and at this point, our bodies are temporarily paralyzed, and our heart rate and blood pressure rises. 95% of the time, you're not going to remember what you dreamt about in your REM sleep. Have you ever wondered why we can't stay awake for 24 hours, 7 days a week? Well, your body is not going to function. If we don't get enough sleep, our bodies can start to shut down and not work normally. We need around, like I said, 7 to 9 hours of sleep to be fully awake during the day. According to the American Psychology Association, if we sleep an extra 60 to 90 minutes, our bodies can become happier and healthier. Getting enough sleep can cause you to work better in the day. WebMD states that during deep sleep, your body works to impair muscles, organs, and other cells, chemicals, and strengthening your immune system to circulate your blood. And during this time, your body is working to restore itself from a long day. In 1964, a high schooler named Randy Gardner did a science fair experiment where he would stay awake for 11 days and 25 minutes, and he beat the world record for most days without sleep. So you may wonder what happened to his body. Well, during the time, he was tested for his cognitive and sensory abilities, and after 2 days, his eyes were starting to struggle to stay awake, wasn't able to identify touch without seeing the object, and wasn't able to repeat like simple tongue twisters. By day 3, he was super moody and was uncoordinated, and the researcher John J. Ross that was supervising him stated that Gardner experienced trouble concentrating, forming short-term memories, and became paranoid and irritable. So you may wonder what happened after the experiment. So after the 11-day and 25 minutes of the experiment, he was brought to a hospital, and he slept for about 13 hours, and the next day he just woke up and went to school. And in an article by BBC, Randy seemed to show little to no effect from his 11-day awake, although later on in reported suffering, he was suffering from years of unbearable insomnia, and staying awake may give you little to no harm, but in the long run, problems may arise in the future, such as for Gardner. Sleep helps our body regulate the way it's supposed to, and if we don't get enough sleep, we can start to become uncoordinated, and our cognitive and sensory abilities start to get affected. Getting a full night's rest is what's important, and if you get your full night's rest, you become more alert and days without drowsing off. Now that you know how important sleep is, let's talk about some tips on helping you better your sleep, getting a better night's sleep. So one, you can obviously have like a better sleeping routine, bedtime routine. According to Medalist Smith, Lawrence Robinson, and Robert Siegel, avoid screens when you're in bed, so not on your phone or iPad or such, and don't think about work or stressful conversations because that will keep you up. Also, you can wind down by taking like a warm shower, or you can even read in bed with like a dim light. Having your body not go, also, sorry, sleeping at a certain time and waking up at a certain time. So say I go to sleep like at 10 and then I want to wake up at 8, so I would set those times as the times I want to wake up and go to sleep. And once you have that, you set up your biological clock, and your body will get used to it, and later on you won't need an alarm to wake you up. And there's also things you can do in the morning time which will help you with your sleep. You can work out for at least 30 minutes to improve your sleep and also help with sleeping disorders and stuff. And another thing is, I know a lot of people do, is drink caffeine or alcohol or sugary foods. Those can also disrupt your sleep. And if you eat like a heavy meal like right before you're going to sleep, you're not going to fall asleep, and that's really bad for you. In conclusion, I hope you guys learned more about sleep and understand how important it is to get a good night's rest. If we lose sleep, day by day problems will start to arise, such as sleep deprivation, sleep insomnia, and many more to affect your sleep. Take some tips on getting better night's sleep and help you with your daily sleep schedule. Getting enough sleep will help you mentally and physically. Hope you guys enjoyed my speech.